Taliban, a creation of the Pakistani army, does not see its border with Pakistan and claims the Pashtun regions of Pakistan. And today, Taliban's foreign minister has warned Pakistan of its humiliating defeat at the hands of India in 1971 and said that similar dismemberment with Pakistan is on the cards and will be done at the hands of the Taliban. Can a broke Pakistan with no leadership do anything in response? Let's debate.
The Taliban telling its former masters what it does not want to hear. Taliban has warned Pakistan of breaking the country as India did in 1971. The threat made by Taliban's foreign minister Sher Mohammad Abbas Tanekzai.
نیم ټوټه افغانستان نن جلا ده د خط دیورن نه اخواته واقع ده دا په داسې حال کې چې موږ خط دیورن په ټول عمر کې نه په رسمیت پیژندلې او نه پیژنو دا فرضي کرخه د چې انګريزانو د افغانانو په زړه باندې تیر کړی او نن زمونږ په گاوند کې زمونږ شرق همسایه په ډیر ظالمانه صورت سره مهاجرین لږ راباسي او ورته وایي چې تاسو خپل وطن ته ولاړ شئ.
Ironically, Tanekzai, a former Afghan army officer, was trained by the Indian army. All of this just a month after Iran attacked Pakistan for backing terror. This at a time when Pakistan, 11 days after elections, is unable to select a prime minister. The economy on such a weak footing that an Indian conglomerate makes more than it does. Can a divided Pakistan defend against the Taliban? And is an isolated and broke Pakistan headed for another split? Let's debate.
I'm welcoming here Najibullah Azad, ex-spokesperson of the Afghanistan government. Muslim Shirzad, who's a political activist. He's anti-Taliban, joining us from London. We have with us Abdul Samad Yaqub, spokesperson of the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. Najibullah, briefly to you, why this statement from the Taliban, in your view, that it will break? It reminded Pakistan of the way India, was forced to come to the defense of the people of Bangladesh, and Pakistan broke into two pieces in 1971. Why is the Taliban issuing a similar threat or making a threat reminding Pakistan of 1971 now?
Well, Taliban who have different opinion in regards to the policy against Pakistan. Overall, the Taliban, I still don't believe they will have a similar stance. But, however, this is an Afghanistan stance. Afghanistan in the last 73 years has never accepted the so-called border. Pakistan believes it's an Afghan and Pakistani border, which is a Durand line. And we put aside the Afghan stance. We put aside the international stance. We put aside the international territorial contracts. But coming to Pakistan's constitution, Pakistan inherited this system, which is called the FATA, Federally Administrative Tribal Area, in 1947, in exchange of commitments from Pakistan's founder, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, that Pakistan would not interfere directly in the Pashtun area's affairs. The Pashtun tribes of FATA agreed to accession to the new law, and then there are only two articles under Pakistan's constitution, 1973 constitution. Only article 246 and 247 deal directly with the affairs of the tribal areas. The constitution stipulates the fundamental rights of citizens for all Pakistanis, or streamlined Pakistan, but not the tribal areas Pashtuns. Pakistani founder Muhammad Ali Jinnah withdrew the Pakistani forces from the Pashtun areas in 1947, and the Constitution of Pakistan in 1973 it states that these areas can have their own system, can have their own defending system. Pakistan will not interfere into their affairs, and the citizens of those areas do not enjoy the fundamental rights that a citizen of a country is enjoying. So Abbas Tanekzai, referring to those articles, or
but that's the historical part of it. Is there any immediate provocation? Is there any immediate provocation, Najibullah? Is there any
Well,
immediate provocation? That's the question here.
I
right?
believe Taliban have made it some way to to develop new contacts with the regional powers, other countries, including the United States, which they have indirect deals, and they believe that some of the figures in Taliban, not all of them, some of the figure like Abbas Stanigzai, he believes that Pakistan is interfering in their affairs, and they're going to have their own stance against Pakistan. And of course, they have experienced the misconducted or the mistreatment from the Pakistani army establishment in the past when they were hosted.
Let me get a response because I have limited time. Mr. Shirzad, how do you view this threat where the Taliban says, by the grace of the Lord Almighty, these lands will be liberated? Why this statement now? Is it a function of the weak political situation in Islamabad?
Well, first of all, the Pakistan is not the foreign minister of Ireland. He is the chief foreign minister, which has a colleague mentioned as in India. But the stance of the Taliban can say that the language, which mostly the African foundation historically after 1997 using recording the. So I believe
Mr.
that
Shahzad,
if the Taliban,
Mr. Shahzad, I apologize. I'll have to fix your audio. I'll have to fix your audio in just a minute and come back to you when it's fixed. Till then, I'll get a response from Abdul Samad Yaqub and Faraz Saeed. Abdul Samad Yaqub, you're seeing here, there have been, multiple attacks on Pakistan have been conducted by the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, right? There is terrorism all across Pakistan. Pakistan is burning. There is no election. There is still no real government in place, right? And how do you view this threat? I think it's a very serious threat. Pakistan should look at it. Mr. Yaqub.
Well, as you're referring to the statement of the Stanigzai, Sher Mohammad Stanigzai, I believe that this guy has a serious genetic problems. I mean, he feels like he's living in the area of Sher Shah Suri, and whenever he feels
he's the deputy foreign minister,
he's going to invade the Pakistan. Secondly, yes, we are facing the
but he represents the leadership.
Pardon? What did you say?
I'm saying he represents their leadership. He holds an official position.
That's
He's a
why
deputy
I told
foreign
you that
minister.
some of individuals in Afghanistan have a genetic problem. I mean, they believe that they are living in the era of Sher Shah Suri, that whenever they feel,
I mean, see, this is the kind of, you make these kind of racist comments. No, what did you mean some people in Afghanistan have a genetic problem? This is why the people of Afghanistan can never accept you.
Sher Shah Suri, who invaded Delhi. Okay, I am condemning this statement by Stanigzai that he cannot even dare to look at us by saying that they will invade us or they will take they will cross the Durand line.
The question is, the question is whether you are in a position to respond. Today, Bilawal Bhutto has rejected the power sharing formula. You don't have a government. You don't have a government.
That is a political, I mean, you are mixing up the political issues with the security challenges. The security challenge is something else.
Of course, they are always mixed up.
From the TTP.
Can you separate the two?
Yes, at this moment,
I'm a realist. I wouldn't separate the two. Giri Bakshi, I would not separate the two.
The is not a dysfunctional state. You have to understand that it's a functional
Which state?
And if we have any threat from the Taliban, we will respond in appropriate manner. I mean,
no. The very fact that the very fact that you're having to clarify that it's a functional state is proof that it's not. General Bakshi.
Arnab, I have an old soldier like me today has a sense of deja vu. We joined the army just before the war in 71, and then there was a stolen election in Pakistan. Pakistan lost half its country in that stolen election, right? And today again, 50 years plus down the line, we have another stolen election in Pakistan. Now, the problem is, Arnab, very few people have realized the serious repercussions of this. The Pakistani military, the deep state, tried everything possible to keep Imran out of, the power, out of the hustings. Everything they tried, and yet he got 101 seats. And had there not been such blatant rigging, to which Pakistani officials are now testifying, he would have possibly gotten a clear majority, possibly a thumping majority. I'm not unduly fond of Imran Khan, but the fact of it is that the people of Pakistan selected him. He is the largest number of seats. By all rights, by democratic norms and procedures, he should have been called for forming the government. Now, don't forget that he is a Pashtun.
What does that have to do with the
What
threats?
you're going
Can you
to
draw the
see
link
in,
there? What
in
does that have to do with
Pakistan-
the present threat from the Taliban? They will
You
ask.
know, because this is a fault line, serious fault line emerging in Pakistan. Punjabis versus Pashtuns. You know, the Baluchis are too small in number to be pose a very serious problem for very long. It will be limited. But the Punjabi Pashtun fault line, Pakistan is headed for serious trouble. Serious trouble, and I feel apprehensive.
Faraz,
The economic
Faraz was
problems
nodding
are
in
staring them
disagreement.
in
One
the
more.
face.
Faraz. Yeah, Faraz. I'll let Faraz
Yeah,
respond.
please.
Faraz.
Sure. The point is, we have to make a slight discrimination between the 1970s election and 2024 election. Now, there's no doubt there's massive rigging during these elections, and Imran Khan and his party and the independents backed by him are somewhat deprived of their mandate. But but there's a glaring difference between what happened in 1970 and what happened in 2024, and why there is no possibility of disintegration that we witnessed back in 1971. In 1970s election, an entire region which was the majority population, which was back then East Pakistan, Bengali speaking people, voted Mujibur Rahman into power. Here, it is not a regional issue anymore. It is the political issue. Maybe establishment wants to wants Imran Khan against the wall, but because it is not a regional issue anymore, there is no threat of any region, getting away from Pakistan. So the whole idea that people are propagating that, oh, there's some kind of possibilities that Pakistan may face a crisis of disintegration, it is not going to repeat because the ground realities are very much different. Now, as far as the Afghan threat is concerned, I don't understand. I mean, India and Pakistan have fought like about 3, 4 good, made large scale wars, and the international borders are still intact. I don't understand why Afghan government
First of all,
has the
Faraz,
audacity
can I
or
make a
musters the
personal
courage
request to
or
you?
musters the
Faraz, can I make a personal request to you? Can I make a
sure.
personal request to you, most politely? Please, I have a piece of advice. It's gone too far, the gap between India and Pakistan. You can no longer take them in the same breath. We are too big, too powerful, too economically large.
Of course, but
And
our
you cannot
international
compare.
borders
Do
are
you
still
know today,
intact.
Faraz, one minute, allow me. This India had dash Pakistan thing is history. There is no dash anymore. I'll tell you why. Today, one Indian company, one company out of thousands, one company's capitalization, market capitalization, exceeded the entire GDP of Pakistan. One company. Are you realizing
Now,
you
there's no
can't do
denying.
this anymore?
I will not deny.
You can't
That
do
is
this.
the
Would
reality.
you compare?
That is the fact of the day.
Would you
That is the
compare
reality that we all
would
agree
you
with.
compare the Maldives with
India
the
is one of
United
the
States
third
of
largest
America? You
economies,
wouldn't.
and that is the
Would
reality
you
of the day.
compare Papua New Guinea with the United States of America? You wouldn't. You can't compare India and Pakistan. Anyway, please continue. Please.
But of course,
This is a reality, no?
now,
One Indian
I
company,
mean, when the United
Tata's
States
market cap
plans
is
to,
bigger than the GDP of your country. Yeah.
I mean, if you want to discuss economy, I will of course come with a different facts. But now, what I'm trying to say is, when India and Pakistan, despite odds, have been able to maintain their territorial integrity, the borders have not shifted since 1947. The current day is
That is
Pakistan.
we've
How
done
is
you
it
a favor.
possibility that
You
a much lesser
don't take that
power,
for
which is
granted.
the Afghan government, and there is only 2 years of Afghan government, and it has somehow mustered up the courage to fight against the mighty Pakistani army and its people, where Durand Line is in the international border, and they have no right no right at all to even talk about
ये
during
क्या
9
है?
because it is an international border. I mean, let's not go back down to history, but they do not have the capacity to challenge
No,
a Pakistan
I'm saying
Afghanistan international border. That is the plain fact of the day.
I don't know which world you're living in. You should know the reality. And I also don't want to talk about the Pakistani economy because I don't want to embarrass you. I don't want to embarrass you. Why would I want to? Do you think I want to tell the
I
whole
mean,
world that your
understandably,
economic
Pakistan's
forecast is that
economy
you will
is
grow
weak.
a little over
This is
1%?
this is
Pakistan's
very
economy is weak.
unfair to this is very
No,
unfair to
I'd
compare
like to bring
the
in, I'd
market
like to bring
capital
in
of the
Mr.
company
Shirzad,
and the
please.
GDP of the.
Mr. Shirzad, yes, I will. Because I'm trying to push the point that one Indian company is bigger than your country. इसको आप एक्सेप्ट कीजिए ये
See,
सच्चाई
this
है
is
भाई
very
साहब
unfair. I
एक
mean, there
भारतीय
is no
कंपनी आपके
comparison
पूरे
of
देश
the
से बड़ी है
GDP
देखिए
of the
आप कहाँ
country
पे
and
But
the
थे
when
market
Tata,
capital
वी
of the
बिकेम
company.
इंडिपेंडेंट टुगेदर आज आप अपने आप को देखिए ये रियलिटी है
Okay,
ना
tell me the size
आज
of
but
बांग्लादेशी
is
इकोनॉमी इज बिगर
Tata
देन
the
यू
Saudi Arabia.
or the Ambani?
The size of the economy of the Saudi Arabia is $833 billion, whereas the size of the Saudi Aramco company is $2 trillion. How can you compare the company, the Saudi Aramco, with the GDP of the economy size of the? I mean, huge difference. $1,200 billion difference. The same country
There is a
and the
difference,
same
but in
company.
your country, anyway, this is not an economy discussion, and I want to go to my guest in London. The reality is, economy पे मुझे मत बुलवाइए. Inflation आपकी 40% की चल रही, 50% लोग आपके poverty line के नीचे हैं.
30.
You're more than broke. But I want to go to Mr. Shirzad. Mr. Shirzad, do you think the Pakistanis need to change their approach towards Afghanistan? I see a sense of contempt for the Afghan people. Whenever I hear Pakistani looking down on them, contempt for them,
Absolutely not.
as if they're doing them a
Absolutely
favor,
not.
do you think that approach
Absolutely
needs to
not. Now that
change?
is wrong. That is
No,
absolutely wrong. Pakistanis have hosted their
that is my reading.
refugees, over 4 million Afghan refugees for years, for decades.
No, you threw them
Nobody
out.
can get up right one day and say, oh, Pakistanis have contempt towards Afghanis. That is
Okay, let Mr.
absolutely
Shirzad
wrong.
speak because I lost him in the start, and it'll be unfortunate if he doesn't have his say. Mr. Shirzad.
Well, first of all, I believe that Mr. Stanexai, deputy former Taliban, speaking regarding the Iran is like, because if you're talking about it is not a national border, but it is a line. So why general of Taliban regime is open in Peshawar? So first of all, I want to say that history for this and the Afghan politicians are using language regarding the difference. This is the fact. This second issue, as you mentioned, regarding the Pakistani establishment policy in Afghanistan, in particular after the Taliban dominance, I want to say that this is the first time I'm saying that the Pakistani establishment representatives have been met with the anti-Taliban politicians in several countries, including in Ankara and Dubai. So it means, has the Pakistani government establishment forecasted, especially after 2021, has said that the Taliban are broken the chains of slavery? But it is not something that the Pakistani forecasted. Now these madrasa students of Pakistan are just backing the TTP. So I think now it is time that the Pakistani politicians think that it needs to a change of policy toward Afghanistan historical. And it needs, and they should show that extremism is not in the benefit of any regional countries, including the Pakistan. As you mentioned, it is a fact that the terrorism and the ideology of Talibanism, which are very active, especially in the borderline with Afghanistan and Pakistan, are a regional threat. It doesn't matter which it is Karachi or Islamabad or Lahore or Kashmir. So overall, I believe that if the Pakistan establishment, the Pakistani realities, and think that this is the time that should change, especially about terror groups within Afghanistan. And the third point, don't believe that those students of Pakistani madrasas are trying to stand against their voters. No, it's not possible. For example,
I will.
where is
I'm
the
really
case of
sorry I've
my
overshot the time limit, but I will take this up again. I would only like to say that I feel Jen Bakshiya.
You know, Arnab, you recall when the Taliban had been ensconced in Kabul, the sense of triumphalism that was exhibited by Pakistan. They felt they had acquired their strategic depth. Afghanistan was now a fiefdom of Pakistan. And that is the way the arrogance with which they have been treating the Pathans has just now rebounded onto their faces.
I think
No self-respecting government in Kabul will ever accept the Durand line. They have a problem on their hands, Arnab, and that problem is not so much on the other side of the Durand line. It's on their side. The compounding of their economic collapse.
General Bakshi says it's become a Punjabi Pashto divide in Pakistan, which is the way many people look at it. This is a developing and current story. We are following it closely here on Republic. To my panelists, I thank you. This has been a brief but informative discussion. I will come back to it. And ladies and gentlemen, as I wrap up the program this evening, we continue to report live on the arrest of the Republic Network reporter in Bengal. We are moving the courts and we are sure the judiciary will be with us.